Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea, and in this channel we talk all things business, mindset, edtech, online teaching in general, and many more things that interest me. So if any of those topics interest you, consider subscribing. Now in today's video, I am going to be talking about some of the reasons why you should move to Italy in 2022. Now, I have lived in Italy for around 9 months. Out of those 9 months, I lived there 6 months this year, from January to July. So I think I can have a say when it comes to living in Italy, but I'm pretty sure this applies to any city in Italy. So without further ado, let's start. Now, the first reason why you should be moving to Italy is its relatively low cost of living, especially if you decide to live in the south or in non-touristy areas. But even if you decide to live in very touristy areas like Florence, Naples, Rome, or Milan, I am pretty sure that you are able to find places with low rent. And if you work online or if you are a digital nomad, that is gonna be super handy, especially if you are working for a company in the US, or if you're working for a company in a different European country which pays more than the average Italian salary. Additionally, the rent is quite cheap. It really depends on what you want to get. Buying food can be inexpensive if you find a way around it, and if you buy food in big supermarkets. Now, the second reason why you should be moving to Italy in 2020 is because it's because Italy has many international airports, which means that if you want to travel from Italy to Spain or to the UK or to Ireland or to Hungary or to Bulgaria, it's possible to find very cheap flights. I have been able to buy a flight from Catania, which is in Sicily, from Catania to Rome for just €3. And then I was able to find one flight from it was from Catania. It was from Catania to Bulgaria for around €10, 12 euros. So it is quite cheap to travel within Europe, and you can always get these very cheap prices, like the one that I told you about, the €3 the €3 flight. The third reason why you should be moving to Italy in 2022 is because of its relatively low fares when it comes to public transport. So one of the things that surprised me about Italy, especially as an Argentinian, was the fact that you were able to get from the south of the country to the north of the country by train. Of course, it's not the most, it's viable, it's possible. Would I do it? Absolutely not, because it would take me a long time, and I am pretty sure it's going to be more expensive than just taking a flight or going by bus. But it is possible. Let's say that I was living actually in Reggio Calabria, which is in the south, and if I wanted to get to Rome, I think I paid €19 for my train ticket, and I was in Rome in like 6 hours. So it's very easy for you to get to all of these different cities within Italy for cheap. So let's say you work a 9 to 5 and you're working from Mondays to Fridays, and then during the weekends, let's say that during the weekends you do not want to stay in that city because you have been there for like 5 days. So you can easily buy a train ticket and go to Tropea, you can go to Messina if you take the ferry, or you can go from Milan to Rome, or from Milan to Venice. So it's really easy for you to get around Italy once you are there. And it is, I'm not gonna say that it's cheap, like super cheap, but it is it's inexpensive, especially if you find good deals. And it also depends on which train company you buy from, because sometimes there is one which I'm pretty sure it's Freccia Rossa, which is a bit pricey, but then there are others which are just as good. From my perspective, if it's just for like a 1 hour, 2 hour train ride, then why would you pay 3 times the amount when you can pay less and get there in the same amount of time? And the great thing about this is that you get so many discounts if you are under 25 or between 25 and 30. They have some sort of plan, like a program, like a youth kind of program, where you can get tickets, where you can get discounted tickets. So that's also something to look into. However, there are like seasonal discounts. For example, there were discounts during Easter, and there were discounts during summer for people to travel around Italy. So if you are in a city and you want to visit other cities, it's completely doable. The fourth reason why you should be moving to Italy in 2022 is because it has everything for everyone. And by this I mean that, for example, I remember that it was winter. I was with my mom, and I think it was like it was December or January, and it was a bit hot. It was warm. It was not hot, but let's say that we were with the jackets on. We were wearing a jacket, and we went to visit. It's a place which is called Gambarie, and it's in the mountains. So we in Reggio Calabria, it was sunny. It was warm, and once we got to Gambarie, it was snowing. And it was like a 1 hour ride, like a 1 hour bus ride to Gambarie. And many people, even my students, they have their own like ski equipment or snowboarding equipment. And then on weekends, they just go to the mountains and ski, or they snowboard. And they have like all of these activities. So if you want to go to the beach, you have the beach. And if you want to go to a place which is snowing, you can go to a place where it's snowing, because it's completely doable. And the fifth reason why you should be moving to Italy in 2022, and this is quite, this is something that really surprised me, was the fact that some of the, I would say like the vast majority of flats that I visited, there were not many, but there were some, they are quite big. And this really differs from other cities in Europe, where their flats tend to be like really small, and you cannot have many things because of course the flat is small. Like, otherwise how are you gonna move? But in Italy, I realized that my flat was so big, like literally so big. And the rooms are big too. And also the rent, especially if you are in the south, is it's not cheap, but I would say that it's like a fair price, let's say. I was paying 400 euros per month for my 2-bedroom flat, which was 7 minutes away from the seaside. And I was on the second floor. We didn't have like an elevator, but yeah, I thought that was a fair price for the flat that I got, and it was already furnished. So alright, and that's all for today's video. Make sure to watch these videos next, and comment down below why you are planning to move to Italy. And if you happen to have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll promise I will answer as soon as possible. See you around!